Hello viewers, this is Machuga Nyariego TV talk show where we analyze social, economic and political issues relating to our society right from the village to the international level. Much is taking place in our country today. For example, in a few minutes from now, the head of state will be addressing the nation on pertinent issues, especially relating to Gen Z movement. But for now, I'll focus on Kalonzo Musyoka facing Mount Kenya. In other words, I mean, there is that likelihood that Kalonzo Musyoka will cooperate or will form a coalition with the Mount Kenya region. This follows after there was that indication of the revival of the Gema. But this brings about dilemma. Remember that Kalonzo has been the Vice President of the Republic of Kenya under the late President Mwai Kibaki. Kalonzo Musyoka has been a running mate severally, and even he has been a presidential candidate. Who will be the presidential candidate? Because of course, if there is that cooperation with the Mount Kenya, it means him and the current deputy president will both be having ambitions of becoming presidents. Now, between him and Gachagua, who is likely to be the presidential flag bearer? And remember, today there is another new and very strong constituency of the youth. Who will bring, or what matrix will they use to bring the youth into their camp? If you are watching this video or this channel for the first time, kindly subscribe so that whenever we produce a similar video, YouTube will automatically notify you. And kindly remember to put on the press button. And also, we have remember to put on the press button. And for our resident subscribers, thank you for your continued support, and kindly continue watching and sharing as much as you can. You are our pillar. Back to our topic. Kalonzo facing Mount Kenya. The dilemma is, who is going to carry the day? Who is going to be the presidential candidate? How will they organize the Kenyan society? I've said earlier, the two have both gone up to position of the deputy president, and the other one was a vice president. But one of them has contested for presidential election. What are the options for Kalonzo? Is he going to take a second position? Remember, he has been doing that against the wishes of many for quite some time. When, for example, he has been supporting, or he has been a running mate to Honorable the Prime Minister Raila Odinga. What are the chances of him becoming the presidential candidate. Those are the issues that I want us to look at during this presentation or discussion. One, there are 3 areas or 4 areas that Kalonzo Musyoka, before joining the gamer community, should look at. The numbers should look at the west, that is the western part of the country. Should also look at the lake, the Rift Valley, the pastoralist areas, and finally the mountain. Of course, at the mountain is whereby we have the numbers. But today we have, within the numbers, we have a tribal race community. These young people who call themselves Gen Z, they are a tribal race community. How is he going to bring the west, the lake, the Rift Valley, the pastoralist areas, the coast, and the mountain? Because when they had discussions, or when they were in a meeting last week, the current deputy president told him, charity begins at home. You organize your people, I organize my people, another person organizes his people, then we come to the table and discuss. That means it will be a game of numbers. From the west, now let's examine one by one the west, the lake, the mountain, and the Rift Valley. From the west, Kalonzo Musyoka has been having a royal friend by the name, the former CS Eugene Wamalwa. Despite them having different political parties, they come from one umbrella body which they call Azimio. And they have been working hand in hand when actually like the way America and Britain used to work. Whenever there was anything where Britain has given a comment, definitely America was to comment, and vice versa. And these two gentlemen have been working as brothers. The thinking of Kalonzo is the thinking of Eugene Wamalwa. Is Eugene Wamalwa able to deliver the Western for Kalonzo Musyoka? The Western today is in one way or another divided into 3. First, we have the Speaker of National Assembly, we have the Prime CS, we have Wycliffe Obaranya, and we have the Tawe movement by the Trans Nzoia governor. But from the look of the things, the Tawe movement is likely to dominate the rest of other groups because it is composed of young people who are saying no to injustices, no to those refusing to pick their calls, and many others. How connected is Moses Wetangula, or how convinced, not Moses Wetangula, but Eugene Wamalwa, is he going to bring on board the Tawe movement, the young people from Natembeya to him? as I indicated earlier, the young people are a constituency in themselves and one big constituency from the 47 counties. They will have a total say when it comes 2027. Wycliffe Oparanya is there. And more others. When we come to the lake, we have the former Nairobi governor is there. We have veteran politicians like Anyang' Nyong'o, governor for Kisumu County. We have the governor for Siaya. And then we also have other strong leaders like the Gladys Wanga, who can bring women on board. However, having said that, most of the people from the Luo Nyanza, to be more specific, it's like they have bestowed their trusts on this young man from Nairobi, Babu Owino. How close is Babu Owino and Kalonzo Musyoka so that he can be able to deliver him his traditional friends, because they have been supporting one another for quite some time? How close is Kalonzo Musyoka to Babu Owino so that he can deliver to him? Today in Nyanza, after Raila will be Babu Owino. We have, despite the fact that we have the former governor of Nairobi in Nyanza is not that much strong, then we have that small section in Kisii. In Kisii also we have that constituency of the Gen Z movement. How will he bring them? In Kisii, I think he has some leadership in parliament, and I'm not sure whether the leadership, including the women for Kisii, who is in his party, will deliver. Donya has actually been trying to do his best, but will he deliver? Will he make people to move towards Kalonzo Musyoka? What is relationship with the Kisii governor, Simbarati? What is his relationship with the emerging young people in that area? Then next we come to the Rift. That's the Rift Valley. When there were issues on who was going to debut or a running mate for Raila Odinga, or who was going to be the presidential candidate, Gideon Moi was used to negotiate, to calm down Kalonzo Musyoka, to put away his ambitions and support Raila Odinga and probably Martha Karua. When something that made Kalonzo Musyoka even to go back to his farm and reflect, move from one end to another. Is that relationship between him and the Moi family, that is Gideon Moi, still in existence? Is that relationship strong? Will Gideon Moi give him support? Can Gideon Moi be able to disrupt the UDA in the Rift Valley? Is he monitoring young emerging leaders whom he can talk to within the ruling party and woo them into his side. When we come to the pastoralist communities and the coasts, Kalonzo Musyoka don't seem to be performing, or cannot look to be performing so well, because some of his traditional friends left him. Now when we come to the mountain is made of three big groups. One, or actually can call them four. One of them is that of the Gen Z movement. The other one is of Gachagua, and another one is of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, and the last one is of Martha Karua and Jeremiah Kioni. In the previous election 2022, Jeremiah Kioni, Martha Karua, and Uhuru Kenyatta were together. But during the meeting, during the congregation that was in one of places in Kiambu last week, Martha Karua and Jeremiah Kioni were absent, whereas Uhuru Kenyatta sent his contribution. This raises question whether they are likely to go together come 2027. Therefore, if the big question here is, who will be the presidential candidate in this arrangement? When we go back to the Mount Kenya, we briefly also can talk about Gachagua, whom he is likely to combine with. Is Gachagua ready to go for that position for the second time? Bearing in mind, he will be having resources now that he is the deputy president of Kenya. Bearing in mind, he comes from a background which is very rich in votes. Bearing in mind, Gachagua was not elected, was not chosen by the delegates who were electing the previous deputy president, but he was picked by the president for the obvious reasons. He could be genius, and from the manner of things or the look of things, he could be genius, and is genius because if, for example, what is taking place in Kenya today, that's all about the mandamanos. The other day he was saying he as an individual, he reasons to the ground. He has nothing to say, but the ground has much to say. Therefore, he cannot do anything if the ground has spoken, or he cannot do anything against the ground. Probably that's why, even if there are so many things happening in the Republic of Kenya, no one is mentioning about him, because he fully declared that for him, he will always listen to the ground, and he strongly came out and said that the ground is different. Who is going to be the president in this arrangement and the deputy president? My names are Machuka Nyarieko. Kindly continue subscribing. Thank you.